Hill Station, having a great time. Really good spot for people to come and watch a game if they don't want to go to the stadium all the time, even weekends when it comes to a little Saturday, Sunday football.
Yeah.
They really do have a dope patio here at Hill Station.
They
We're
do.
here in Hillcrest, just right off Kavanaugh. But we got to talk about this game. Arkansas 56, Arkansas State 14. No surprise here when it comes to how I thought this game was going to end. Now, we're going to talk about some things that I think we saw on tape. You know how we are. We're going to celebrate all the victories, and we're going to also take a look at the areas that we can improve. We started off, couldn't ask for anything better. I thought Arkansas was potentially going to put up 70 points on this team, but we had an extremely slow second half. We saw things on tape that, once again, gives us reason to be concerned. But you cannot be mad about the way that we started tonight.
No, you can't be mad about the way that we started. You can't be mad about the way that it ended 56-14. Listen, there was a lot of people, I mean a lot of people on social media. If you're on X, then you know there's a lot of people that were doubting the Arkansas Razorbacks coming into this game. And I'm not saying that this game is a predictor of how the rest of the season is going to go, but I am going to say that this game is in your face to everyone who was trying to act like the Razorbacks just didn't have it together this season again, right? I feel like we've showed it. Week 1, we ended up in a great place. Did we start slow again? Week 2,
we didn't beat Texas on the
we're
road.
We're not talking about beating Texas.
We didn't beat Alabama.
There was a lot of people in the comments everywhere, and I think that I call them Arkansas haters because it's like they don't even want to get behind the potential of Arkansas being good. So I'm going to tip my hat to the team today for doing what they should have done.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
That's the thing. I know a lot of people came into this game kind of worried, curious it was going to be a little bit closer. The spread, should I do it? And all week long, what nonsense are we talking about? Not trying to be disrespectful for A-State, but if it was any other team at that caliber of school, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. It's the historic part of this game. But now that we took care of business, first quarter was absolutely insane. We'll go ahead and throw up a couple clips from the game here today. And I think we start off with the very first drive of the game. We're really not going to go play-by-play. Make sure y'all tune in Monday night for our breakdown of the games. And don't forget, we got a whole lineup Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, leading up into game day. And once again, apologize about the connection we had this morning at the stadium. Apparently, it wasn't just us. ESPN had connection issues as well. So that makes us feel a little bit better. But what a way to go ahead and start this drive. But I think what's going to be interesting is the way that it happened in the first quarter is the way it should have been. Now, you always have to know in games like this, Josh, you know something's coming, and it's how you respond. But I will say I am not happy at all that when it comes to the second quarter, we really almost got nothing until the very end. I mean, A-State almost shut us out completely in that second quarter.
Yeah, can I say this, though? Because I want to talk about the positives for a second. I want to say Taylon Green, 239 yards passing. Our second-string quarterback got NKJ Jackson, 70 yards passing. Team total, 309. Team total for rushing, 321 yards. Okay? Let me tell you all the receivers that got involved today.
Time out. Josh,
Rohan,
I'm not trying to be mad.
What?
But we got to keep it a buck here, okay?
No, we're going to keep it a buck.
239
in
two picks
5, 6,
is
7,
not
8, 9. 9 different receivers today. 9 different guys getting to catch a ball.
See what I do with
this is what I'm saying. It's because here's my problem. I'll stay a little tough for some part of the season.
Yeah.
But at some point in time, I just want to give kudos to the guys that are stepping out onto the field. So I'm just checking myself. That's all I'm doing.
No.
Because I have been a little bit negative in the past. But when I see us come in game 1, game 2, and do what we should do, I want to applaud that.
Okay.
I want to live in this moment and be happy because I don't get too many moments like this over the past 5 years.
Okay. I'm going to sit here and say Taylon on the yard or on the ground, 9 carries, 151 yards. Let's celebrate that.
We didn't even talk about that.
That's called special. That's called explosive. That's what you want on your team to make a difference. But I think an opponent like this, when you have those type of caliber receivers, I would say 230 through the air and 2 picks usually isn't, I would say, something to celebrate. And you know what? The only reason I say this is because, we've gotten to talk Taylon a lot in the offseason, and he really is pushing himself to be great. That second pick, probably not the best decision, but I can make peace with it. That DB made an amazing play on it. That first pick, however,
he didn't see him. DJ says that's the problem.
That is the problem. But like I said, we're not expecting anyone to be perfect. And I will say when it comes to from start to beginning, very pleased with Arkansas outside of the second quarter alone. And I think, and this is the thing, A-State, yes, they're not going to be a pushover. Rayner, absolutely amazing, getting out of some very sticky situations in the pocket, and they were without one of their best players who's out for the season, literally, an Arkansas kid with his ACL, and they overcame what I thought was a touchdown pass, that which got called back, and then got there again and had that interception after they had their interception. So I will say this, as much as I rag on A-State, okay, y'all came to play. I was very impressed with how they didn't let it go off the rails in the second quarter, because I thought in the first quarter, you know me, I was ready from the get-go for Arkansas to beat A-State by 70, okay?
They're a good Sun Belt team. That's what we expected from a good Sun Belt team, and that's what we've been talking about. On Friday in the scouting report, I said they are not a slouch team. They didn't play like a slouch team. 14-56 against an SEC team that I'm saying is getting better.
Yeah.
A SEC program that is taking steps in the right direction, a lot due to Bobby Petrino. Listen, we haven't even talked about this.
Yeah.
We had Mike Washington Jr. with 116 yards. That's something that we talked about needing to see out of our running backs. Who's going to step up and be the guy?
Yeah.
Mike Washington Jr., I think, kind of put that hat on today, saying, I'm going to be the guy for the rest of the season.
Look, I already know what's going to come. Look, we got comments. Y'all go ahead and get him in right now. And this is where it gets interesting, okay? So, DJ, you're a hater. You were decent, nothing special.
He's not a hater.
So relax.
You
got Jeremy in this one. Talon needs to be also DJ. TG needs to be perfect. No, I don't think he does. You got another one right here. DJ, we don't expect TG to be perfect. All right, here's my point. All right. So this is why I think why we want to do what we're trying to accomplish here at 4th and 5. We try to take you into the locker room. I promise you, when it comes to tape, Coach Petrino, he'll say, I'm glad we got the win, but why did we do this? I need to go through your thought process. And I think what this team needs moving forward is not to have the pat on the backs every time something good happens, because sometimes when you have a program who's not yet used to that winning culture that wins week in and week out, which I believe our fans want. What happened when Kendall Browse, who was it? When Dan Enos got fired and they brought in Kenny Guyton, and then they go to Florida, have an amazing game on the road, haven't won in the Swamp in forever, and then lay an egg the next week. It was a team that was not used to winning, that didn't know how to handle success, and then they get comfortable, okay? So I do not apologize for pointing out these areas of which I believe will be essential when we play teams that are extremely talented. Those plays will make a difference.
I agree.
In a game like this, I get it. But I'm not going to sit here and say, who cares? It's A-State. I care because I want this team to win. And I want Talon to be special. It was so frustrating last year when I was watching Talon Green go through not just a bad stretch in a series, but I would say a bad stretch between 2 or 3 games, because he has so much talent to put that on the field. And so I'm sorry. I have extremely high expectations. But one thing we learn in sports, don't waste your time critiquing somebody if you know they can't get the job done in the first place.
That's
only reason I'm hard on Talon Green is because I know he can live up to those expectations, okay? So I'm sorry. I'm not going to sit here and be all cream puff and all that stuff moving forward. It's all about getting better and getting to the next play and not be excited about beating A-State. I don't care about A-State at all. I want to go to Oxford next week and put on a show.
DJ, I'm with you. I hear you. And let me tell everybody out there this. There's no bigger fan and supporter of these Razorback players' success than DJ. I will say that. That is very true. This doesn't come from a hate. This comes from a critique. And if anybody was in a film room with coaches, with anyone, you'd think they're haters too, because they're pointing out a lot of stuff that you don't want to get pointed out. So, no, I know that about you, man. I get it. But, again, I ain't got a lot to celebrate in a long time, man. I want to celebrate this. Hawk Nation, baby. Celebrate it. And we'll get back. We'll do it tonight. And then guess what? Tomorrow, we're back in the film room. DJ's going to be looking over film and go, hey, what'd you see? And Monday, he's going to be breaking it down.
It's just, you remember when, now this is not this team, okay? I'm going to say a name, and everybody at home, you can plug your ears if you don't want to go through a little PTSD, okay? When Chad Morris got okay? in the first 2 weeks. You remember Club Dub?
Yeah,
You remember?
yeah.
We even made a video about it.
Left lane, hammer down.
We was in our studio like this, Club Dub, and then after those 2 weeks, we beat teams that we should have beat.
Yeah.
You know, now we got in. Now it's time to play with the big boys. Okay, so I'm not really taking much from this A-State game. Sorry, it sounds so disrespectful to A-State. It's just I believe Arkansas, when it comes to the resources, the conference, and everything that we have, that's exactly what should have happened on that football field. And so once again, I think what is very important for us to go back and look at. Somebody even brought up. Yeah, they talked about other plays. We'll talk about special teams. Probably do that a little bit more tomorrow. And like Taylon Green was hurt last year. That's why I'm very excited to see what he does while healthy, as long as we keep on moving in the right direction. We got more questions coming in. If you have any questions, now is the time to go ahead and get these in right now. Overall, we made small mistakes. This is from Jerry. Good win, but there's still a few things that need to be fixed by next week. Green got a little too comfortable in the first quarter. KJ did pretty good as well. I mean, it sounds like a hater to me, right? That's what I would say. No, I'm just kidding. I agree. I agree.
We totally agree. And you know what? This is the game that if you see those little mistakes, you've got the breathing room against an A-State to get them corrected. What we're talking about with moving forward in this season is that some of these opponents, you can't throw those 2 picks and still win. These are games of inches when you get in the SEC. A-State, you can throw 2 picks and still spread the score out. In the SEC, you just can't do it like that. There's those mistakes cost you the game. So totally get what you're saying, man. Totally get what you're saying. I do, however, am still going to continue to go back to the fact that, hey, in the Arkansas world, I haven't had a lot to celebrate. So doing what we're supposed to do week 1, week 2, building that momentum. And what I want to do is build confidence in this team.
Yeah.
And that's why I want them to take this, feel good about it, but at the same time, realize that's A-State. We got bigger opponents up ahead.
Yeah, it's about going home now. This is what we'll do. So tomorrow we'll spend all day going over the tape, every single play, and really trying to find out exactly what is going on. I know in games like this, it almost seems this exactly the way that it's supposed to be, but you'll be shocked when you go back and watch the tape, and it'll be on both sides. You'll see some stuff where, man, Arkansas really got dealt a bad hand on that one, and maybe that bad play, that interception, we may go back and watch. And we may say, oh, man, Taylon, sorry.
Yeah.
That wasn't on you. That was on a receiver. You know, that was on a very random rotation in secondary. That may happen. Who knows?
Right.
And so that's the beautiful thing about going back and watching tape. So I really encourage y'all to tune in. That'll be Monday night. And once again, I see a lot of comments coming in right now. We might as well answer a few.
Yep.
I got my I got my lady back here. She wants to hang out. But I said, boo-boo, we got to work now. Okay. Got a comment coming in right now. This is from Brooks. He says, how do you feel about tackling? To me, it was okay, and that it is a transferable
takeaway for the rest of the season.
Transferable takeaway?
Yeah, meaning like it will translate to the rest of the season.
Okay.
Yeah.
It popped up a little bit in week 1. It popped up a little bit today. I will say that is common, though. I mean, week 1, week 2, you go against your guys all the time in practice, even though when you go live, sometimes guys kind of let up a little bit.
And where it's gotten to so far, like preseason now, it's not the early 2000s or the late 90s preseason or fall camp where they're actually going full bore, heavy hitting, no holding back. Now, a lot of these guys are coming into camp and they're protecting individuals, right? They're not going out there trying to injure yourself right before a big season. So a little bit of practice changes. So these early weeks, you're kind of getting back in the groove of really just going full speed and taking guys to the ground. So you're going to see, and what we saw week 1, at least I did, was guys making contact, but not wrapping up, not taking guys, not finishing them to the ground. So that is something that we're going to continue to work on. But yeah, we've got to get it fixed before we get an SEC play.
Sorry, I am paying attention. Also going through the comments right now. Man, we're flooding them. First of all, big shout out Chris Alley. He just had a newborn little baby. He says, take your lady out and celebrate that win, buddy. Show is awesome. Appreciate it, Chris. A lot of people saying woo pick suey. I will bring this up. I saw this pop up a lot. I can't wait to watch more tape on this tomorrow. Finally, an edge rusher stepped up. Lead showed up and played today. That was very exciting. Do you think Taylon will have a good day against Ole Miss? I'll say yes. I think even it's crazy, the things I nitpick. Night and day from where he was last year.
Yep.
And I'll say before the wheels fell off last year, it actually wasn't the first couple opening drives, but, I mean, it just snowballed effect last year against Ole Miss. And Ole Miss isn't the team this year that they were last year, especially without Jackson Dart. I think Taylon does go on the road and puts on a show. Like I said, I still think, even though he had a big day with his legs, they're really still not utilizing his full potential because we're just playing lesser opponents. So I think Talon does have a chance to go to Oxford and show up. But I'll tell you this, 2 picks on the road at Ole Miss.
Ain't going to cut it.
It ain't going to be 56-14. I guarantee you that. But once again, we'll go back and look a little bit closer at that defense and offense.
Talking a little bit about the defense. Xavier Sorey, 15 tackles. Julian Neal, 11 tackles. Steven Dix, 10 tackles. Hey, Philip Lee. Quincy Rhodes, 2 sacks, 6 tackles. That's what we wanted to see in this game, was a couple of those defensive linemen actually step up, get pressure on a mobile quarterback. Now, it is Arkansas State, but at the same time, this is one of the more mobile quarterbacks that we might see this season. He is actually really good in space. So seeing our defensive line step up, even against an Arkansas State offensive line, which does have a bunch of brand new guys still trying to figure it out and gel, I still like to see at least the confidence building in week 2 going into SEC play.
Once again, we are live here at Hill Station. Y'all come hang out with us, right? Now we're going to hang out all night. You know, it's been a long day, and we're having a good time here just in the Hillcrest area right off Kavanaugh. We got a lot of comments coming in, so I'm just going to go ahead and pull those up on the screen.
Let's do it.
Shout out to the whole state of Arkansas. Had a great time, especially at the tailgate. I will say this, very pumped up. Scoot over a little bit. Let me get in this little box right here. I was very excited and very grateful for the fan base that showed up for the last hoorah here at War Memorial Stadium. I'm hoping that the excitement around this game will potentially lead to conversations to go ahead and bring us back. Scoot over a little bit more. The screen.
There's a lot of cords down here, DJ.
Dang. All right. So that was really cool. Once again, everybody else commenting, DJ spitting, shout out to the whole state of Arkansas. Who's that? The Wild Throneberries want to know if we can get Talon Green on the show. That'd be great. We just need a sponsor who's going to give us a lot of money so we can pay him some NIL deals to go ahead and make that happen. So that'd be fun, right?
Back in college, you'd come on the show for free.
Nowadays, oh my God.
You got to have a little change in your pocket to get these guys.
What I get, that'd be special. And I'll say this, as much as I give some, I would say, constructive criticisms for this guy, I'm still very pumped up last game when Talon got on to one of his players for not being in the right spot.
Yeah.
I think a little mixture of that with his God-given talent and brushing up these little things that I'm telling y'all will make a difference. If you like winning 6-7 games a year, by all means, give me all the grief in the world you want. But if we want to start getting those 8s and those 9s and pushing for some special things in the toughest conference on planet Earth, the little things will matter. So I will keep at them. Bring all the heat by all means. It is okay. I just appreciate y'all tuning in and watching the show.
You know, one of the things Petrino said that gave me the most confidence going into this season was that he said this year, Talon in practice has actually been a guy that's going and correcting the receivers.
Yeah.
And Bobby's being able to kind of set back and let Talon assume that leadership role. He says that that's due to him just understanding the offense more, which is exactly what you want to hear from a Bobby Petrino, because you've been there.
Yeah.
You know, when he doesn't have confidence that you know what's going on, he lets you know it. If he's stepping back and letting Talon Green coach up some of his players and demand that kind of respect, even in practice, that plays over into the field. That's given us a little bit of confidence that Talon has made these steps. I continue to see better and better showings from Talon Green. I'm excited to continue to see that, and I'm crossing my fingers that I'm not sitting here the next post game with DJ telling me, I told you those picks were a big deal.
I don't want them to be a big deal. Sorry, we got a lot of comments coming in. I'm trying to keep up with them. I am curious, y'all, what's that our Ole Miss game? That'll be another thing we watch tomorrow, okay? So in our 4th and 5 throughout the week, we not only talk about the Arkansas Razorbacks, we talk about our opponent.
Yeah.
And so right now, Ole Miss is playing Kentucky, trying to get a good idea of that game. Hey, Aiden, what was that Kentucky Ole Miss score? Aiden, Kentucky Ole Miss, what was the score? 30-23, 7-point game, if he remembers that correctly. And we got a comment right here where somebody says that they were very suspect in that game. We marked this on our calendar. Week 3 would be the game. If we can go on the road and handle business in Oxford, night game, right off the Grove, people hanging out, it really does change everything.
It does.
And then, yes, I believe we go on the road and beat Memphis. And then you're a 4-0 team. Notre Dame coming to town. I don't care if it's an early kickoff. If that is the case, Razorback Stadium is going to be jumping.
They're probably changing the time if that happens. They're probably going to change the game time if that happens.
Yeah.
So, yes, Ole Miss is always one of those teams that I feel like Arkansas always plays very well. I mean, last season aside, right? But most of the time we end up playing them very well, and it's kind of a 50-50 game as I see it with Ole Miss, Arkansas season over season. So
Yeah.
If we can go in playing our best football, minus those 2 picks, defense show up, let's get a couple sacks, let's force a couple turnovers, we actually have a chance to win that game and change kind of the outlook of the season. Even for the most hating Razorback fan of all, we'll probably have to redirect how many wins he thinks we get that season.
Okay, I think we're about to have to shut this down. What's going on? Okay. Yeah, we're going to have to shut this down. A lot of people are complaining about our light as we're giving our post-game thing. Was that manager who came out? It's fine. Okay. We do need to bring our lighter lights and, like, angle down. We'll do that next time. All right. We're going to wrap it up. Make sure y'all tune in as we Monday night have our post-game breakdown. It's going to be everything you need to know, and be aware of our list as we move forward. I appreciate y'all walking out, and I'll leave you with this comment right here. This is from Al. Will the beating silence the A-State fans for a while? Hopefully.
Yeah.
We can stop hearing